You want to do it in French? Let's do it in French.
Équipe de semaine.
Or les?
Équipe. EQUIPE.
Oh, équipe.
Équipe de semaine.
That's just team of the week.
Oh,
right. Yeah. Now, you don't have to say l'équipe.
No.
Okay. Coming up next on Rugby Wrap-Up, Heineken Champions Cup Chat. Brought to you by Irish Rugby Tours, the Rugby Tour specialists, AFIA Sports Training, committed to developing the sporting potential of future players in the U.S., UK, and across the world. And Dub Pies, Down Under Pies. Stop by, say hi, and eat pie. And the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street. Hey everybody, welcome back to Rugby Wrap-Up in New York City. Matt McCarthy and Steve Lewis at the Fantasy Sports Network Studio 34 in Midtown Manhattan. And we are talking rugby in Europe. We are talking the Heineken Champions Cup. And we're going to do this briefly with our recurring segments, including this week's Freddie Burns, for the player that wishes he had that one back. Steve, you have a player in particular that might fit this category?
Well, it would have to be Freddie Burns. Unfortunate set of circumstances there. I mean, probably happens to most players once in a career, but to happen right at the end of the game when it affects the result in a big game is really going to be tough for the guy. But he's a professional. He needs to get back on the horse. So I would imagine they will pick him this week, and his teammates will support him, and he'll get out of the rut. But it was pretty tough to watch.
And it came, his kiss, his blowing of the kiss, and his tapping of the chest because he's a guy from Bath, and all of a sudden it was Medard, right? Maxime Medard, hustling. Great example for kids and coaches on showing what you do. You never quit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've coaching a couple of times. A player one-handed hasn't grounded it. Not mentioning Derek Lipscomb of Old Blue by name, but it's always something you try and coach out of players because these things happen, once a career, twice a career, but they will bite you.
Yeah, and I understand, the adding flavor and the adding of the color to the game and making it, exciting for fans, but this was such a tragic.
Don't do it.
Yeah, tragic.
Don't do it.
Right? You take your whole. And did you notice his teammate running up behind him, kind of like instinctively in the moment, like swatted at him, like, "What the hell are you doing?" Right?
Pretty frustrating.
Yeah. But I wanted to point out on Twitter, Matt Gitu, the Aussie, right, with the French name that you don't pronounce with the French accent, took to Twitter and gave him a bit of a hard time, kidding around, which I thought was the best medicine.
Yeah, he's a professional, right? He's going to get over it. Yeah. Teammates, I mean, they're going to rib him hard, and he'll take some residual ribbing for some time. Yeah, okay. But, their pay packet depends on him performing next week, so they want him to perform. They'll be helping him.
Told that thought, we're going to take a quick break and come right back with Mr. Steve Lewis.
If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street.
Ladies and gentlemen, this Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, with a 6:30 start for our pregame show on the Next Level YouTube channel. Michigan State hosting Michigan, one of the biggest rivalries in American sports history. They take it to the rugby pitch, and it's at a very cool venue. It's at the home of the minor league baseball Lugnuts. That's right, the Lugnuts, at Corey Law School Stadium, the home of the minor league Lugnuts. And we'll be there, Rugby Wrap-Up, Next Level Rugby, for that live broadcast. So tune in at 7 p.m. for kickoff and 6:30 for the pregame show.
Been blind since I was 4. And I've never seen a beer commercial or a beer label. None of that stuff influences me. I drink beer because of the taste. And my beer's Pabst Blue Ribbon. It has the taste and the flavor.
What do you think's on the label?
I think there's a naked woman riding on a unicorn, jumping over fire. Oh, that's good beer.
Steve, our second recurring segment, which is really creatively named, and fans, feel free to name these segments, is our MVP of the week for this round. Steve, who do you got?
I'm going to go with a coach.
Oh.
I'm going to go with a coach. So I think coaches deserve recognition.
Wow.
And I think Newcastle's victory in France at Toulon is a feather in the cap for Dean Richards.
And I'd love to see Dean Richards wearing a feathered cap. He is a large man. And, kudos to them. They were here to play Saracens in that premiership battle at Red Bull Arena. He had an undermanned squad because of some injuries. And I know that they worked hard up in Newcastle. And they've also been over here helping with kids and stuff like that. So it's good to see them get that. That was a great, great win. I got a couple of them. It's up for me.
You can only pick one.
I know, but I got to pick out. I got to say that Maro Itoje, was the most annoying defensive guy I've seen in a long time against Glasgow, and he was on both sides of the ball all the time, and he's a force to be reckoned with. But I'm going to go with Maxime Madar for the hustle and the example that he has shown youth across the globe on never giving up. That's my guy. All right?
Fair enough.
All right. And Steve, because you are a Frenchman at heart, the next segment is called Équipe des Aimants. Oui?
I'm a Francophile. I like the French.
You are.
I like the French.
You're a lot of files, but we'll file that.
Newcastle is probably your pick again. I'm sorry to be repetitive, but they're the team of the week for me.
Well, and we've got that photo of their fans on Twitter, which is amazing. There it is on the screen right there. Hats off to Newcastle. They deserve all the accolades. But I'm going to go with Cardiff. You got a huge win in Lyon.
I mean, so there's some question now that Toulon are not the force of old. You know, I mean, they're 2 from 7 this year in the domestic league. But they got a pretty big salary bill. So for Newcastle to go down there and win away from home, winning away from home in France is an achievement.
Yes. D'accord.
Back with Newcastle.
All right. And Steve, our final recurring segment, and again, folks, you're more than welcome to make suggestions on renaming all of these, but our lunch pail prize of the week for the guy in the front row in the engine room that does the dirty work goes to...
I'd probably say Rodolfo, the barman at Benetton. That bar there is pretty tricky to open and shut, and he's kept busy most of the time. They had a big win at the weekend as well, I believe.
All right, okay, all right. That was an out-of-the-box pick. I'm going to go with Ty Furlong because he is a beast, and he was all over the place, and he had that one-handed pass.
Great piece of skill.
Yeah.
From a big man.
Yeah. And there you have it, our Heineken Champions Cup coverage, courtesy of Steve Lewis and Matt McCarthy here at the Fantasy Sports Network, Studio 34 in New York City. That's all for now.